Hello, icons and future icons. It's Sean Kokoska, founder of Icon Coaching. And gang, today I've assembled a panel of top producers for you to just all listen to glean information from. And we're specifically going to be talking today about how to leverage Facebook groups for free to increase your referral traffic. Have you ever wondered how those agents out there are just crushing it, leveraging Facebook, getting all this organic traffic, all this lead flow? Well, many of the agents that I personally coached have struggled with that same question until they've just simply applied a few strategies, techniques, tactics that have helped them get that organic lead flow rolling. And today, that's what it's all about. We're going to show you exactly what we do, how we do it, so that you can leave here today with actionable items that you can implement, deploy immediately in your practice to increase your referral business. Now, without any further delay, I do want to introduce these rock star panelists. I'm going to start with Sandy Miller. Sandy, take it away. Introduce yourself to our audience. Go ahead.
Well, I'm Sandy Miller with eXp Realty, and I have been helping people buying and selling real estate in Stockton, California, and I love what I do.
I love it. Fantastic. Sandy, welcome. Let's go to David Torgerson. David, take it away.
Hi, well, thanks for having me here. So I'm David Torgerson. I'm a real estate broker in Helena, Montana. I've been doing this for 14 years. And I was actually just looking away because I needed to add up how many team members we just added. So I run a team now of 7 people, team of ISAs and admin, and we'll do about 50 million this year in a population of about 70,000.
Well, you're crushing it in Helena, Montana. I'd be curious what your market share is. Perhaps you can get back to us later on that, but I'll bet it's pretty much up there. And
Yep.
I'd also like to introduce Colette McDonald out of Atlanta, Georgia. Colette, take it away. Oh, Colette is frozen. Is it just me or is she frozen?
She's frozen.
Okay. All right. Well, Colette, we're going to come back to you. Hopefully your internet kind of catches up with us here. And last and certainly not least, our special guest, a guy named Will Penny, who's just blowing it up, leveraging Facebook groups. Now, transparently, Will is going to be the star of today's show, okay? He's going to just pour into you. He's going to add value to you. I, myself, and the rest of the panelists, we're here to add color commentary, to underline the things that Will's saying, to make sure that you get it, and of course, ask questions that we feel need to be drilled down on. So, Will, take it away, man. Introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, thanks so much, first of all, for having me on this panel. I was excited all week to be here. I've been a realtor since 1988 when I was 19. I was with a large franchise. My wife and I started an independent brokerage in 2001. We have a team of 5. Last year, we did just over 40 million in sales, just south of Cleveland, Ohio, between Akron and Cleveland, Ohio, Northeast Ohio.
Fantastic. All right. And Will, you started a little company based on what you were doing. It's called Social Orchard. Why don't you start and tell us a little bit about that?
Well, Social Orchard, I'm getting ahead of myself because the whole thing, I'm very excited about our Facebook group, but I had so much success with our group that I started a company after I did a couple of paid webinars back in January. Agents were really eager to hear what we were doing. And so I decided to start a company where I would actually help agents have the success I was having and also give them all the content we're using in our group so that they can start a turnkey group and not have to try to reinvent the wheel.
Fantastic. And everybody who's on the webinar with us today, I trust it's going to be okay. But later in the webinar, I'd like to drill down on exactly what Will's doing. See, I'm never going to put anything in front of you that is not going to provide you with a significant return on investment. Okay. So again, I trust it's okay. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Yet Will, tell us, why is it important that a realtor masters leveraging Facebook groups?
Well, let's go. First of all, Facebook group is just, all it is a tool. The aerial view, having been an agent for 33 years, is the way that I've kept my business from being a roller coaster business is by always keeping my arms around my sphere of influence. I've had a referral, over half my business has been referrals for a long while. Ever since I went to a Joe Stumpf seminar in 1997 called By Referral University. And I came away from that, I was 28 years old. I had sold about 70 homes that year, mainly from for sale by owners and just grinding it out. We didn't really have internet. Well, we didn't have internet then. So I just started creating a database then. The biggest problem that we have right now, which led to the Facebook group, because again, that's just a tool and a solution, but the reason behind it is that we've got two problems right now. Everyone's trying to sell us leads, and those leads, same leads are being sold to everybody, and they're getting more and more expensive. But more importantly than that, there are publicly traded companies spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year advertising to our sphere of influence and our database to call them when they're ready to sell a house so they can refer them back to an agent. And that is something that we cannot take our eye off of. So it's more important than ever. You have to keep your sphere of influence front and center and stay top of mind in their head every minute of every day. And I've been a fanatic about that. And that's what led to the Facebook group.
Well, let me underline that real quick. Well, see, the actual ratio that we discovered in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent is 12-2, meaning for every 12 people that you have in your sphere of influence that you communicate with systematically, you're going to do 2 transactions per year. Now, the reason we break it down to 12-2 versus 6-1 is because one of those deals is going to be a person in your sphere of influence that knows you, likes you, trusts you, that's either going to buy from you, list with you, or invest with you. Now, the next of the 2 deals would be a referral from somebody within your sphere of influence, somebody you've never met before, who doesn't know you. The good news is they like you because they're being referred by somebody who likes you, right? You just borrow that relational equity. But again, 12-2 ratio. So if you had 200 people in your sphere of influence, guys, do the math. That's 33 transactions per year. Now, I don't know about you. That gives me a sense of entitlement. If I just simply communicate with them, stay in front of them, position myself in the mind of those people, I'm just going to do, like clockwork, 33 transactions per year with just 200 people. So that's why this is important. Okay. So Will, I'll push it back over to you. And I just ask you, what's your number one strategy in building a Facebook group? Let's start there.
So again, can I talk about why I chose a group?
Well, let's do that. Let's bring context. I agree with you. Take it away.
Because otherwise realtors don't understand. When I talk to them about groups to start with, they just go blank-eyed because they don't understand. Who cares, right? The thing is, Facebook, and I'll make this quick, Facebook has 3 products and then they're an advertising company, and we are the product. We are not the customer, we're the product. So they want to get as many eyes on Facebook, on the platform. They want to learn our behavior, and then they want to advertise to us, and they scrape us all into sectors so that we get different advertisers because they know all of our behavior. So there's 3 products. There's the personal page, which most of us have. 80% of Americans over 25 years old have a Facebook page, and 75% of those are active every day. The second product, obviously, is a business page, which most of us has. That has been monetized by Facebook. So you get no traction. Less than 1% of your Facebook fans are going to see any given post because they want you to click the boost post button. So you have to pay to play there. And it's not a way to engage. It's just a broadcasting tool. Facebook changed their algorithm on the personal pages 3 years ago in 2018. It was called Facebook Zero because they noticed people were getting off the platform because we were just getting overwhelmed with posts from people we barely knew. Bragging, food, politics, religion, and most of it was repellent. So they changed the algorithm completely in 2018 so that you only saw posts from people that you had a true relationship with, or those that they feel you have a true relationship with. And it's very hard to buck that system because they know who you're actually engaging with. So you can only get to about, if you're posting on your personal page, you can only get to about 10 to 15% of your friends, unless you make a job out of it and you start hunting people down, liking their posts, and then you'll gradually build that up. But otherwise, it's 10 to 15%. The group, on the other hand, and if you notice, Facebook is advertising groups on television. They want people to be in groups. And since COVID is when they've been advertising it on television, Facebook groups have replaced face-to-face interaction. It has become a utility. It's gone beyond a gimmick, beyond social media. It's a utility. Every major corporation, every university, every hospital, they communicate with their employees, their students, their teachers with Facebook groups. So Facebook groups are a way to communicate and a way for people to engage with people that have common interests. So I took all of that and I thought, well, if I have a group and I can use the technology as a CRM because everyone's on Facebook, then I can engage with people on a daily basis, and no other way that I've been able to do that. So that's why I decided to do the group. So we just,
Let me just again underline this, okay? Like think about this, guys. The reason that a lot of realtors don't like email campaigns is because the open rate is going to be around 10 to maybe 18%. Well, guess what? When you post a video to your Facebook page, your open rate is going to be about 10 to 15%, like Will just said. So groups is undoubtedly the way to go. Any other questions from our panelists? And by the way, I'm going to pause you for a second, Will, because we had a little bit of a technical issue with Colette.
yeah, let's get her in.
Back. Yep, she's back. So Colette, just introduce yourself real fast. Come on.
Oh no, she just.
All right, Will, back to you.
And I love, am I going in and out?
Yep.
But that's okay. You're in now. You're
I
in.
hope at least when I went out, it was a good photo of me and not something like,
Yeah.
anywho. But I'm in Atlanta, guys. Happy to be here. I've listened to Will before. I find what he's talking about today just completely fascinating. And I'm looking forward to learning more and implementing it in my Facebook pages, because I completely agree that you got to be connected in a different way.
Undoubtedly. By the way, Colette is very humble. She's the only approved realtor for the Atlanta Falcons organization. She's all over HGTV. She's like a celebrity, and we're blessed to have all these panelists with us today, no doubt about it. All right, Will, sorry to interrupt the flow, buddy. Back to you.
Yeah, that's good. So anyway, the challenge that got me to do this group is the third-party sites that are like Effective Agent, Ideal Agent, HomeLight, Dave Ramsey, it goes on, Fast Expert. They're actively trying to get in front of our people, which freaked me out. There's a lot of realtors, right? 7 out of 10 people work with the first agent that they ever talk to. That's a reality. That statistic hasn't changed. According to the NAR, 67% of people rely on a personal referral or deal with someone they know. So that statistic hasn't changed. So I've just been working diligently. Back to your email thing, there's only so many tools that we have. I mean, I still call my people, text my people, have client events, drop stuff off, have them come pick up pumpkins, all the tedious things that we do as realtors. But I needed something to stay in touch with more often than that. And that's when I realized right in front of us, we're all in groups, and we see how transparent groups are. Facebook puts group posts in front and center on your Facebook feed. So unless someone turns off notifications, and they're not going to be part of a group and then do that, they're just going to bail out of the group. So
I also think what you're saying too, Will, like all of us, when we first started with Facebook a long time ago, we were adding just our friends. And then it got bigger and bigger, and we started adding everybody. You might have a business page, you might have a personal page, and now the lines are kind of gray. So what you're talking about, having these groups, you're actually drilling down. So if I live in Atlanta and my friends and family or whatever I call my group is in a specific area of Atlanta, then I can help create a larger footprint blast for the people who really matter and the message that matters.
That is correct. I just have one. Well, I've got a couple of groups, but the only group I'm using for my sphere of influence in my past clients is my Penny Real Estate Friends and Family. So we just have, and it's not by area, but we only invite in people that are local. The vast majority of people are local because, and we've got 825 people in our group right now. And we post to it every day. But again, the biggest thing that we have to think about as realtors, and the biggest thing that the listeners or watchers of this should be focusing on, is what are you doing today so that you're going to be in business 5 years from now? Because if you're going to pay a referral fee on every one of your transactions, that's what's going to end up happening. With Zillow and OpCity and all of these companies, they want our commission. So you have to have a sphere of influence and stay top of mind in their heads every day, or they're gonna take the money from you and you're gonna be out. So that's the pain. The group is just a tool that I'm using. And I said this to Colette last week. I mean, imagine if you went back to the Jetsons, that show, that cartoon. I'm old, I'm in my 50s, but imagine if they had a piece of technology where you could look at a computer screen and everyone that you care about and they care about you is right there, and you could communicate with them in live time. You could show them stuff, you could show them videos, you could show them photographs, you could get their opinions on stuff, and you could stay in touch with hundreds of people that know you all at once. What would you pay for that technology? Well, that's a Facebook group and it's free. And the reason Facebook is a publicly traded company and they are dirty pigs. Mark Zuckerberg's a billionaire. The only way he became a billionaire is because of advertisers. That's all they are. He even said it when he was up in Congress when they were being charged. They're an advertising company. How do you make money? We sell ads. Well, we're the product. So groups, they know that if you're a part of a group, you're going to stay on the platform for an average of 38 minutes a day longer. That's it. That's the simplicity behind why they have groups. They know that if you're interacting with people that you care about or you have a common interest with, whether it be fly fishing or knitting or traveling or real estate groups that we're all in, then you're going to stay on the platform longer because you're going to make it part of your day. It goes beyond social media and it becomes part of your day and a way to connect. Well, the group is the only product they have that allows you to do that. And because it's private, people are much more apt to think about the groups you're in. These conversations on some of these real estate groups get really heated. Well, that's because it's a private group and the world's not watching. Well, if you have a group with your sphere of influence and your past clients in it, they're much more apt to comment, to say what they like, what they don't like, because it's private and it adds a level of exclusivity to it as well.
Undoubtedly. Okay, so a couple of questions off the bat that came in through the chat. If you want to create a community page for an area you're targeting, is that the same as a Facebook group? Let's start there.
Well, let's remember, we have three options. You have your personal profile, which you're not going to use for that. You have a business page, and you're not going to have a community page on that because none of your fans will ever be notified of anything that you're posting to your page unless you start spending money hot and heavy. You got to click that boost button and spend 20, 30, 50 bucks. So those are the only two other products. So you have to have a group. A group is the only product that Facebook has. And there's no other social media. I mean, Clubhouse and a lot of these things are gimmicks and they're just a way to spend lots of time. The Facebook group has become a utility. It's transitioned beyond social media into kind of like Zoom. I mean, Zoom is just a verb now, right? So 2 years ago, we hadn't really heard of it or thought of it, but now we actually use it to, like right here. We couldn't have this meeting without Zoom. Well, there's lots of things that people can't do without a Facebook group. So, and Facebook knows that, and they want to make it very specific. It's about lots of people having conversations with each other, and they're advertising it on television because it keeps you on the platform longer. So to answer the question, you could create a community group. There's lots of them. I mean, I'm in Cuyahoga Falls Talk of the Town, Northeast Ohio Babble. You know, there's tons of community groups where people complain about restaurants, but a lot of those groups become toxic. You know, people just like to get on there and start bashing a company that didn't treat them right. Or, you know, our group, if you have a group that's just about your brand, your team, and it's just about fun, entertaining, community related stuff, no real estate garbage, talking about how many homes you sell, how quickly they sold, how many offers there were, that's repellent.
I think that's a really good point right there. I want you to hit more on that, Will, because I think that most of us are thinking, oh my gosh, we have to make sure people know that we're real estate agents, that we're super successful, we're closing X amount in 30 days. But the whole point of this group is to engage and keep people engaged. And if we do too much of that, you're saying it turns them off.
If you do any of it, just be sure. Okay. And again,
any of it.
I have sold 217 houses in the last 12 months. And we put our sales on our business page because you want it to be current so that if people are looking for a realtor, they can see on there your sales. We do that. But if you had a client event and you had 100 and some people show up and you walked around, shook their hand and said, hey, do you want to sell your house? Or, I made $120,000 last month. I mean,
excellent analogy. That's an excellent, I see that, right?
Here's what would happen if you were a human being like that. We become keyboard heroes with our businesses and it becomes repellent. It's like when the kid poops in the corner of the pool. It doesn't matter how big the pool is, no one's going back in. And if you post if you post content saying we just had 17 offers on this house and it sold for 20 grand over list, the problem is everyone's doing that. We're sending two messages. Sellers don't need us. Every one of you who are realtors are getting pushback on commission now from some people because they think the market's good and homes are selling with or without us. That's because of us. We did it because we're morons. We should not be posting stuff like that. And it just tells buyers that they shouldn't be buying a home. It's the wrong time to buy. So that's what no one's coming away. It'd be like posting a picture of you standing next to your Porsche 911 Turbo. I mean, people do that, but the vast majority of people are going to come away just hating you. And it's the same thing that happens when we post how successful we are. They already know we're realtors. My group is called Penny Real Estate Friends and Family. Well, I don't talk to my friends and family about my huge house and my nice car, and I don't do that, you know.
But Will, what do you do to get the point across to your clients? I mean, I know you've got an amazing amount of what to show your value. What? Reviews, right?
I've got 700 reviews online. That's another meeting, but I've got 557 on Zillow, which is the most on it's a lot. And we've got 154 on Google. So that's social proof. That's another conversation. I get two listing appointments a week from my Google Local Services profile. So anybody who doesn't have a Google profile, go get one and get background checked. That's another conversation, but you need to be a GLS agent in your marketplace. It's gold. But in terms of staying in touch with your people, your group, the people that you know who love you, calling them quarterly, having client events, sending out a newsletter. But if you have a Facebook group, they're all on Facebook all day anyway. And they don't have an employer to smack their hand and say, put your phone away when they're working from home. So people are on Facebook much. So it's improved the addiction. And Mark Zuckerberg knows it. People are addicted to it.
No doubt. Follow-up question to the first question, by the way. Should it be an open group so everyone can see all your posts, or a closed group where you have to invite people to join?
No, it needs to be a private group. It needs to be searchable and it needs to be private because for a couple of reasons. First of all, people want to be part of something that not everyone else is in. That's just how we are as humans. You know, we want to be when the heating contractor says, I'm busy for 4 months, but I'll sneak you in. He may tell everybody that, but you'll pay what he wants because you feel like you mean something to him, right? So
victim.
Right. So you need to have it private because of exclusivity and because of safety. People want to feel like they're part of something that's not everyone on social media. They're afraid everyone's going to see, but they know in a private group that won't happen.
So can you set is there different settings? You have to make it private. You have to be able to make it private and put it on that setting, or it would be open. Is that how that would work?
I have a video that I made just to prove the point. I have a live video. I set up a dummy Facebook group in 4 minutes and 37 seconds.
While you were talking, I just did one.
Yeah. So you can set up, you want to have it private, searchable. You can link your business page so you can invite people from there. And then you can invite your friend. You can click back and invite your friends. We have 825 people in our group and we only have 5 of us. And then we post content every day. It's never about sales. Once a month, I might post a post and say, shameless plug. Don't forget we're realtors, once a month, maybe. I posted something last month. This shows how people have transitioned from us being their realtor to us being their peeps. Is we posted saying, need your help, trying to get more reviews on Google. Would you please post a review for us? 27 people posted 5-star reviews. What other thing can you post or send an email out or anything where people are going to drop something and do that for you? They're not.
So, Will, how do you set expectations for the participants in your group, right? Because everyone's being asked to join this, like this, do that. How do you set expectations? When you invite them, you say straight up, this is not a solicitation. This is just my friends and family group. And, you're not going to offend anyone. This is a private group. But if you do say something offensive, I'm going to kick you out. How do you set expectations?
Great question. So when you set your group up, you're able to ask, you can have group questions. Just think of all the groups that you're in. You had to answer a few questions to get in. Ours says you're going to be nice. You're not going to make or start any political conversations. There's not going to be any hate speech, and you can't be a realtor. I mean, that's pretty much, that's.
Oh, you actually put that in there? You can't be a realtor? I love it.
A realtor, yes or no. If they say yes, they don't get in.
I love that.
No, well, you have to personally approve everybody.
I have to approve everything. We have people, the nice thing is that we have people using this as a community page now. Our members come on, ask for a contractor, say, hey, I'm looking for someone to mow my lawn. We had a guy come on last week, needs someone to dog sit. Other members are answering their questions, but before anyone posts, I have to approve it because I don't want my business going up in flames while I'm not watching.
Excellent. So you approve all the posts. That was my next question.
I post all the posts myself. And by the way, Facebook has a schedule. Facebook Groups has a scheduler. So you can actually post, like when we have content, if you sign up and you sign up within Social Orchard and you get your Dropbox link with images and the copy, makes it brainless. All you have to do is copy the image into a post, schedule the date you want it to drop, and you can, on a Sunday evening for 15 minutes, you can put 2 weeks worth of posts on and have them schedule. So every day at 2 o'clock, they drop. And then all you've got to do is when people comment, you just have to respond. You just go on. I do it one night or every night for about 3 minutes. I did a video on that as well. I just go in and I engage. I respond to the comments and I engage with them because it's, again, if you change two mindsets, it's a CRM now and it's a client event. So if you treat it like a CRM and not like Facebook, you'll take it more seriously. And then you'll get more excited about finding people that matter to you on Facebook and friend requesting them and inviting them into the group because it's very scalable. And then you just post our content 4 days a week. And it's all questions like show 3 kinds of fancy houses. Which one's your choice? Or 3, what's the last movie you watched?
I think it's about that time. Why don't you go ahead and share your screen and show us your group? I'd love to see it.
Well, since you asked nicely.
Please.
Sorry, Facebook's slow on Zoom. Bear with me. Okay, let's see. All right. So we have 800, there it is, Penny Real Estate Friends and Family. I have a sweet moving truck that we loan to our clients for free. Well, hang on.
How big is your moving truck? Just curiosity.
That's not a question you ask.
Look at his Facebook page.
The size of the truck doesn't matter, Sandy.
It looks like it's a smaller one, which is cool.
No, it's 16 feet inside and it's 6-7 feet wide and you can stand up in it. It's a full-size moving truck.
Okay, sorry, just a little side note there.
No, I bought it last year. It was delivered in April 18th. I was scared to death I was going to have to move into it. I'm like, I didn't know what was going to happen with the housing market, and I just bought this $60,000 truck.
And it's a moving billboard.
Yes.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, it's out today. We have when someone buys or sells a house with us, they can use the truck for free.
Yeah, see, I could never do that because I drive too much like a jerk that I would lose business.
Oh, On the Move is the name of the company. They make complete turnkey truck. It's about 50 grand. They're great. But anyway, 825 members. Yesterday I do extra stuff because I'm someone that I'm able to stick with things. So I run about 50 miles a week. I've been married a long time. I'm boring, but I'm pretty good at sticking with stuff that matters to me. So when I go to a restaurant, I'll post a 35, 40-second video about the restaurant. But here's the thing that's important that you have to pay attention to. If you go to your business page, here, let me change this up for a second. Do I have a couple of minutes, Sean?
Please take all the time you want, brother.
All right. So here's my business page, because this is important to compare. There's the moving truck again. All right, so sorry, there we go. There's my team. So I used to use my business page. I was spending $700 a month to boost posts. So we have 1,855 people following it, which is a pretty legit business page for a tiny little organization. And we post our sales, but here's the reach, 99 out of 1,800. That's 2%, okay? Here's 108 out of 1,800. That actually works out to what? What is that? 108%. 3 engagements, 2 likes. This doesn't look any different than each of your business pages because Facebook doesn't, this is like a billboard that is turning away from the highway unless you're paying for it with the boost post. So this is the business page. We post all our solds here because we want to keep, I put my market updates here. So if we put people standing in front of houses here, we'll do video testimonials here. But the only people that see it are those that search for it. Okay. But you want to have it because it's like a website. Because people will search for it on Facebook and you want to keep it accurate. If you don't keep it active, then they'll think you just don't sell houses. So compare the reach, right? 87, 117, 85, 121. Now, but I've got 1,800, 2.5 times as many people in this, right? So if I go back over to the group, okay, so 825 members. The difference is these are 825 human beings who know us. Every one of those 825 people we have a bond with. No one we've had people invite their friends in. That's another thing. I would say probably 50 or 100 of these are people who invited their friends into the group, which is pretty amazing if you think about it. So they're actually finding so much value in this group that they're inviting their friends to it, which obviously builds our footprint. But here's the
top video is a sticky post, right?
This is our announcement video. So everyone sees this. But here's the thing, like yesterday or 2 days ago, if money was no object, which would you pick? And it was just 6 different houses, 59 comments, 419 post reach, which means over half the people in the group saw that post. And let's remember one thing, when you send a postcard out, do you really think that most people take that, look at it, put it on the fridge? Or what do they do with it?
Put it in the garbage.
Right. But the difference is they have to look at it first, right? So it counts as an engagement. But it costs you $1 to send that. You can't get a postcard in front of someone for free. The vast majority of people, if they go to a restaurant and they hate it, they're not going to complain. They're just going to walk away and never go back. The vast majority of people on Facebook never post anything. All they do is just sniff around and look at other people's stuff. But they still make decisions. They still own homes. They still buy homes. They still sell homes. So even the people don't have to comment or like for it to be a connection. Because if they're seeing other people in the group and they're seeing these other posts, they already know that they're not someone that feels comfortable commenting or liking, but it still builds a bond with them. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Right. That's like the postcard that they see and then throw in the trash. Because every time someone posts, it says Penny Real Estate Company Friends or Penny Real Estate Friends and Family. And to prove that, every time someone posts to a group that each of you are in, think of it, you get a notification or it shows up on your screen. So we had 59 people say which of these houses they like, 59. And we had 419 people reached. I've been bugging my team to post videos too. So she did that yesterday about, where do you go for coffee? I endorse local businesses. I got them to give us a free shipping to our members. So we try to provide value by getting local service providers to provide specials to our people. We don't charge them anything. We just want add value. Here was one that we just did about wallpapers back. What do you think? That only hit 146 people. They're not all going to be home runs, but 29 people answered the question. Here, somebody else posted. She just from Zillow Gone Wild. So Julie Irvin, she's actually just someone in our group, and she posted this. 573 people saw it, and 12 people commented. So we actually have our members helping us out by posting as well. Here we get, when do you go on vacation? When you go on vacation, do you limit your technology? 210 people reached, 15 answers. So my point is, this goes out 4 days a week. Local place or business you went as a kid that's still around, tell us below. 19 answers. But here's something that Facebook offers. If we go down here to scheduled posts, I've got my posts 2 weeks out. All right, so I've got them in there 2 weeks in advance. So it doesn't take a lot of time. You just spend a half an hour, load it up, and then go away, right? The next thing that Facebook has on here, which is very nice, is, oh, hang on, I've got to, where's engagement at? What am I missing? I
Up
can't.
top, under growth.
Oh yeah, there it is. Sorry, thank you. All right, so here's the cool thing. Facebook actually tells you the engagement, the traffic, like we've got 826 active members. It shows you what they're doing, popular days of the week, popular times. And then it shows you, look at this. This shows you your best posts, like 520 reach, 242, 419, 634. So a lot of these posts are 400, 500 people that are seeing it. So my question is, how can this not be, if you work it correctly, and it takes 20 minutes a week to load the content, less than 5 minutes a night to respond to comments so that you actually engage with them, what else can be a better tool than that? Where you're hitting that many people at once, and it's not just static, send them a postcard and not know what happens. And you can see all the engagement in every one of your posts. I mean, here's, my announcement video has reached 766 people.
Wow.
So any questions?
I do have a question on when people want to post on or they post and then you look at that, do you wait until the evening? I mean, we're in such a self-gratifying right now society that if they don't see it post right away, are they aware? How would you handle that?
No, what happens is, my wife is also a moderator. She's a broker at our company. So she's the pimp and I'm a hooker.
I love that. I'm so glad to hear you use that analogy. I use that all the time and I think I offend people. Way to go, Will.
Yeah, so she's definitely she wears the felt hat and I'm out turning tricks. But anyway, she has Facebook on her phone. I took it off because it just got me too worked up. So I took it off 2 years ago. So I just check. I guess my point is I'm able to have this fully functioning group and I only look at it 5 minutes a day.
But somebody else is looking at it more, like your wife, because she's got to make sure that she gets it. Because I would think
comment. All she does is we get about once every day or once every 2 days a member posts and then she just approves it.
And I mean, does she like looking at it? She like waiting for her phone or how?
No,
you know what I mean?
just like, do you have Facebook on your phone?
I do.
So I mean, you get notifications even when you're not using it. And most people that have the reason I took it off my phone was because I was looking at it for about 3 hours a day.
Right.
So you don't really have to worry. If you've got Facebook on your phone, Facebook knows that you are a heroin addict. I mean, that's how they've made it. So that's why the group works so well, because they're already on Facebook all day. They already know they've got you addicted. So you might as well use a product that they are encouraging because your people are already on there because they're all addicted too. That's why I took it off my phone. It was causing trouble. I mean, I just was looking at it all the time and getting grumpy about people bragging and 30-year-old realtors who were coaches now. That's the one that really drove me through the wall. But
So when you get comments on your posts and stuff, and do you get anybody that asks questions like, what do you think, Will?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
so
I do. I mean, because I just do it at night on my laptop before I sit down and watch some stupid show. I get on there for 5 minutes and I just respond to the comments. I mean, I'll show you. This one. Sorry, it's slow. So these people are asking, but anyone who like types something, like I said, yeah, 5 is legit. I put, yeah, but the pool, so I just go in and I just respond to them. Stairs will at least be exercised after sitting in the pool drinking all day. It's just garbage conversation, but people think it's cute and funny, and they see me as a very direct person actually engaging with them. And they don't look at me as a team leader on a throne somewhere. You know, they see the real me.
Nice. So,
And I go
you don't
in-
have like,
Sorry,
you
go
don't
ahead.
have like any obligation to like run through, like, thumbs up and like heart everything. And I mean, you don't do that. I mean, if it's like a question, like you'll respond to it, but you're not
No,
like
I go
running
through
through it
and
like,
see, I go through again, we all have things like I run every day for an hour. I run, we all have routines. We all talk about checking your CRM every day, or we all talk about calling 5 people a day. We all talk about make sure you wish 5 people a happy birthday on Facebook and send 5 people a message. What is the difference? These are people that already know, like, and trust you. It's way better. All you got to do is take 2 minutes a night, literally like the 26 comments, click the like button. You can do all 26 in about less than a minute, and then respond to the questions, which takes another 3 minutes. It literally takes me less than 5 minutes a day. So that's the cool part. You can actually engage with so many people in practically no time. The agents who we were training, and Sean can speak to this. I mean, a lot of agents are very lazy. They want shaked and baked leads. Not only do they want leads sent to them, but they want somebody else's ISA to like tee them up and then hand them to them ready. I mean, that's not the real world. Right? I mean, did you sell 4,000 homes, Sean, by just waiting for them to come to you?
It's a lot of hard work, brother. That's for sure. They don't just come to you. It happens from time to time when you do something like this that they'll just come to you. But it's
yeah.
you got to grind it out every day.
I
Especially
get a lot of things
people sell
coming.
over
to me,
200
but-
homes a year, right? Hey, well,
Yeah.
quick question for you. Do you only just comment back, or do you try to ask questions of them to go a little bit deeper? Like maybe they,
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do. But then I also, I try to, if I notice the happy birthdays and I wish them all a happy birthday, it's very self-serving. I use Facebook as a CRM. That's it. I'm a very mechanical person. I don't have it on my phone, so I look at the happy birthdays, I scroll through and see if there's any of my friends people that I care about or past clients, and I'll tell them how great kid pick or, something like that. But I do it all at once in about 10 minutes a day. And I do ask questions, but I'm always answering my own question up here, So when I post it, and when we send the content, by the way, we also send the copy above the graphic. I mean, we give them everything. And we only send the best posts. So I've got them stacked I only put the best ones on Social Orchard.
makes total sense. So you've already split tested. You've come up with the best response rate, and that's what you give to agents so that they can just go in and schedule out their posts for the next 2 weeks like you do. And 10 minutes a day, sit down with your laptop and comment back on other people's comments. I think it's brilliant. It's a way to stay in front of your people all the time. Now, a question came in from the audience. Do you recommend going live in your group? And if so, what do you talk about?
The only time I've gone live is one time, and that's when we have a contest. We do every 2 weeks. We do a caption this contest and the most liked comment, 3 of them get $10 or $20 gas cards. And when we did the Google reviews, I actually gave away 3 gift cards, 3 Target gift cards, and we did a Facebook Live to announce the winners. But I don't do that. I don't think you have to. I think that the nice thing is, people that are on Facebook consider the typing responses as normal as a real conversation. I mean, my dad's 79 and he only texts me. I can't get that guy on the phone. He's 79 years old. So people take these sentences as real communication. And whenever agents question me, I say, fine, go on Facebook, type a racial slur and see how real it is. I mean, do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to find out very quickly that it's real communication. All you have to do is you can use this as real communication. That's the beauty of it.
No doubt. Now, this goes without saying, yeah, guys, I heard it said before that on social media, we do have freedom of speech, yet we do not have freedom of consequence. So
Correct.
you got to make sure that every one of your comments, your posts are going to be, just really spot on, PC, of course, and positive.
All we want is positivity in our group, and we want happy people who trust us. And they're the only ones who are in. I've kicked out 3 people just for making silly comments that I thought might offend someone else, So I just don't stand for it because my business is everything. We have a small team of 5. We did $1.6 million last year. I have a very productive, profitable little business. I go away for 3 months a year to Florida. I like my life and I don't want anything bad to happen. And you hear about realtors whose lives have been ruined because of Facebook posts. Ruined, like overwhelmed.
This is true. Another question came in from the group. I get that you don't go live, but is there an inherent benefit to going live versus not? And let's open it not only to Will, but to all the panelists. What are your thoughts around that? Well,
my thought is, if I'm doing this well without it, if you're willing to go the extra step and go live, it's a home run. They're going to like you even more. I mean, you see my personality and I've got tons of friends on here. So, So my point is if you're going to go live and go that extra step, I applaud you. But that's like someone who calls FSBOs and expireds. It's like, you go, you know what I mean?
Well, and I would tell you that going live on just a regular Facebook posting, the key to that is that, back to that notification. They get notification, Colette McDonald's live. So it's another ping to them. It's another Pavlov's dog. Come to check out what is she saying? So, I think if it's relevant to the group, it's funny, you feel comfortable going live, I think it's a great thing. But I love your analogy. It's like calling FSBOs and expireds.
Yeah. And the thing is, the other thing we have to be careful of, like last year, I was doing market updates every week. Every Friday, I would do a video market update. The problem is they're so boring that after a while, people stop watching them. So if you do Facebook Lives, if you do 2 duds, you might as well never do another one because you're not going to get anybody watching it. So you got to be careful.
Pressure.
And there's certain people that just knock it out of the park with video. And if they have a Facebook group and they're doing that, then they're going to ramp it up even more than I'm doing.
Well,
I think it would be kind of good to do like video lives with like people in your community. So you could, that would grab more people into possibly your group page. And the other thing that I like about this, if you're not that favorable to go on live, you don't have to. You can still engage with your people. So, but to get out of your comfort zone, probably going live would be kind of cool.
Undoubtedly. Well, I'll tell you from my perspective, guys, going live or even posting videos that you've already kind of edited out, maybe your little flub ups, and you practice it 4 or 5 times to get it right. If you're that perfectionist, that's okay too. Yet, live is going to give them an instant notification on their phone that you're live. Okay. So it's going to engage them quickly. And yet through video, we have an opportunity to create a parasocial relationship with individuals, people who don't know us. Now, in this case of a group where it's friends and family, all of these people you've met in the past. Isn't that right, Will?
Everybody in our group, all 825 people know us on some level, and none of them are realtors.
All right. So in this case, the parasocial relationship really isn't that important. Yet if you choose to communicate in a larger group of people, I think video is a must, guys. I don't think it's an option anymore.
I agree with you. That's why I still do the market updates, and I still go around town and I do videos, promoting local businesses. People love those.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
As long as they're short.
For those of you who don't know, a parasocial relationship means that the individual on the screen is forming a relationship with somebody they've never met before. In fact, they don't even know that person exists, yet the person watching the video, they tend to get to know you, right? They think they know who you are and how you'd react to certain situations, whether it be social or business. And it helps you deepen a relationship without your knowledge. That's why we want to do video. Undoubtedly.
It's Eminem's, has anybody heard Stan by Eminem? Do you know that song?
Sing it for us. Wait, sing it for us. Come on.
No, but he's got a stalker is the point. It's the parasocial relationship. We feel connected with celebrities. It's why they have people show up at their houses. It's why, it's because they feel like they know them. And you're exactly right. You know,
That's
all.
parasocial. That's the term, parasocial.
A parasocial relationship. Like, for example, I feel like I know Dwayne Johnson. I feel like I know Jennifer.
I feel like I know Dwayne Johnson.
I feel like I know Jennifer Aniston, Colette, yet I've never met
Yeah,
her
better.
personally. I feel like I know how she'd respond in certain social situations, right? I've never
Right.
met her. By the way, I wouldn't mind if any of you know her and wouldn't mind making an introduction. My wife and I would love to meet her. She's phenomenal.
My wife and I.
There's so many ways we could go with this.
Right. My wife and I. That's
So
great.
the question that I've got is, so when you say that in some capacity, these people know you, like in like what capacity? Like you met them one time? Because I'm thinking about terminology that I'm used to, met, like have met, haven't met, as far as like my database and CRM is concerned. So like, you know, just somebody that you met and you had like a good conversation with them and just send them an invite.
I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I've heard several really productive realtors who are heavy on social media with video. And they say that when they show up for a listing appointment, the people already feel like they have a relationship with them. So if you're sending the right message in a video and it's not offensive and it's bond building and you're, you know, charismatic without being cheesy or whatever it is your personality is, the more you do it, people who don't know you are going to feel like they know you. I mean, it's just the way human beings' minds work.
Sure. And the question that I've got is like, as far as like who to invite to the group, you know, is it just like, you know, I met this guy at a fundraiser one time and like we locked eyes for like half a second. I'm going to invite him to the group.
Well, I guess that the answer to that is anybody who's in the CRM business is going to tell you that anyone you meet with, you're going to add them to your follow-up boss or whatever it is, whatever your CRM is. You're going to add them so that whatever you send out, they get it too. Everybody out there is a potential client, right? Am I right, Sean?
1,000%. I mean, the best time to prospect is right now. The best place to prospect is wherever you're at, right? So obviously getting the contact information of that individual, reach out to them, friend them on Facebook, then invite them to join your group. Guys, it's really that simple.
That's what I do.
Now, there's a question that came in from Lisette. She said, how often do you post? And do you send invitations to your friends when you create the group in the first place? How did you go about doing that, Will? And how would you recommend they do it?
Excellent. So what I did is I set the group up and then I went through as on my personal page, because you can link them. Like you can go in and you link them. You link your personal page is already linked because you're setting the group up from your personal account. Then what I did is I started inviting all my friends, people that I like, my Facebook friends. And then I went on to my Facebook fan list, people that followed us, and I invited them. If I knew their name, I invited them in as well. Because my attitude is this group, I want this group to nurture everyone I know and make them know, like, and trust me. Because if it's the people who know, like, and they can't just know you. They can't just like, because if they like you and don't trust you, there has to be no like and trust. Sometimes you can do well if they don't like you, but they trust you, right? But usually if you have all three, that's going to make you successful. So I just think of it like the same level as I would a CRM. And I was always told, if you meet someone at an open house, say, is it okay if I keep in touch with you? Well, then I would invite them into the group. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just use it like I would. I use the same standard as I would with a CRM. Now, to answer the question about how often do I post, when I started, I was posting twice a day, but this was all new to me and there was no one to learn from. And that's another thing. I'm a very active realtor. I still sell houses. I sell about 80 homes a year myself that I'm like actually handling the transaction. And then I've got my little team. So my point is that I'm not a guru on the outside who thinks. I've had so many people, well, we get the calls every week. We all do. People think that they're going to sell us, Facebook ads or lead generation. They've never been in our business. They have no idea what we go through every day. This is like so important to me. Social Orchard was just a byproduct of that because agents were asking me too many questions. So I just said, okay, fine. I'll structure this and I'll just give them everything I have and I'll charge them $89 for a solo agent, 149 for, I really didn't think too much about that, but it's priced really low. I mean, it's really low.
And you
And
just give
then I
them all
charge
the posts. You give them all the posts, you give them all the copy, and all they have to do
all
is
the
simply
posts, all the copy,
copy
all of the
paste right into
video training. And then they also get, I send out weekly BombBomb videos telling them how to do better about engaging with their group. So, I mean, I create videos every week that as I'm going through and trying to tweak my group, I make a video, I video my screen, or I'll do a video saying, hey, don't be a bozo. You need to engage with your people. You can't just let that thing run and be lazy, you know? So I send out videos like that every week, and I hammer it home. So, and that's all it costs, and there's no contracts. We've only had I had 2 people bail out so far, but they should have never signed up in the first place. They just aren't the agent. You know, they're the $30,000 a year agent, with all due respect, who's not willing to put the time in. You know, this business that we're in, what other business can you get your license in 6 weeks and make $1 million a year legally? You know, it's a great business, and there's a lot of perks. I go to Florida 3 months a year and I sell real estate in Ohio, because technology has enabled us to sell homes. As long as you've got people on the ground, you know, you can negotiate offers, talk to your people. I mean, this is a wonderful business to be in, but don't think for one second that there's not huge organizations trying to take your commissions away from you. And if you don't make a point of staying in touch with your people, and then you don't get upset when you find out that, you know, Mrs. Smith just sold her house with somebody else, it's because you never stayed in touch with her and she forgot about you.
That's right. Quick question from the group, technical issue here. You can make your team members admin to the group, and they can invite their friends and family if you trust all your team members. Is that correct?
You don't even have to think about every group you're in. There's an invite button right up here. You don't have to be an admin. Any group you're in, you can invite people in, and then the admin has to approve them.
Another question from the audience. Somebody who's prior military obviously has relationships all over the country, if not the world. They said, would you suggest only keeping a local group with local contacts, or would it be beneficial to invite your sphere of influence from other areas, other states, other countries?
Your sphere of influence from other states, other countries can refer you. So that's my answer. You might have somebody in Japan, but if they're from here and you stay in touch with them every day, well, then they can refer you.
All right, buddy. We've got just a couple of minutes left. I want to talk a little bit more about Social Orchard. Okay, so it's $89 per month for a single agent, and you're going to give them all the copy, you're going to give them all the images, and you're going to send out a weekly BombBomb video encouraging them to further engage with their groups, right? To stay in front of those people so you become front of mind. It's $149 for a team. All you have to do is go to socialorchard.com, you guys. Or Will, did you have some other call to action that you want to put forward?
They get and by the way, when you sign up, you get a 7-day free trial. So you sign up, put your credit card in, but and here's the other thing. One of the things that annoys me is you have to have an exit video with most people, or an exit interview, to cancel anything, or you can cancel it right in the dashboard. So you sign up, you put your credit card in, but you get a whole month's content. You'd have access to the Dropbox folder. And at the end of 7 days, if you cancel it, then you don't get charged. But from the minute you sign up, you start getting videos sent to you, like how to set it up every day, 7 days. Then you have a whole video dashboard in there, a library of how to do things. And I did it with my mind, because I'm very black and white, to make it easy.
And Will, just to be clear, the content that you're giving with Social Orchard, that's content that you've already vetted personally. So you've seen what the insights are, the click-through rates, and what your return has been. So it's not like you're just finding stuff. You've already vetted this.
I have everything comes from my Facebook group. I put the content on there. Like I've stopped doing these fluffy posts. I've stopped doing the ones like your gangster name is the color of your shirt and the last thing you ate. I've stopped doing those. We get a lot of response, but there's a lot of people that it's too spammy. So I've been changing things up to make it like, here's some examples there's some examples on the website, like green kitchens are coming back in. What do you think? Yes or no? We're trying to keep things like where they have to use their brain, and people people really like that.
Right on. Okay, so socialorchard.com. And speaking of Facebook groups, I would encourage you all right now, just go to your Facebook and type in a search for Icon Producers. Join our group. Let us pour into you every single day of the week. Okay, seriously, we're going to improve your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, your habits. And by the way, if you're interested in aligning with our organization, joining our community, why don't you just drop me an email? It's Sean@iconcoaching.com. We'll give you a free coaching session and we'll pour into you. We'll add value to you all the time. And that's SHON, you see it in my video, at iconcoaching.com. Will, any other final thoughts, words of wisdom? I got to jump to another Zoom webinar right now.
No, I think you guys are all great. I mean, Sean, I've read your bio. You've sold, my God, so many houses. I met Colette before. She's fantastic. So I really appreciate you guys all letting me be on this. And I'm very thankful.
Well, thank you to you, Will, and thanks to all of our panelists. You guys asked some great questions, no doubt about it. We do this every 2 weeks, gang, every 2 weeks. So go to iconproducers.com, register for our upcoming webinar in 2 weeks' time. Talk to y'all soon. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Will.